So this year is an exciting year for Computex 2022. Ryzen announced their 7000 series CPU. Microsoft announced their competitor to the M1 Mac Mini. Corsair is launching a gaming laptop with a touch bar, and they did it better than Apple. ASUS is making a 500Hz display. And then we have some gamers facing Xbox Game Pass Burnout. Whew, I played too much games. Time to get rid of Xbox One Pass. Microsoft announced a PC that looks a lot like the Mac Mini and powered by ARM processor just like their M1 Mac Mini. It is called Project Volterra, which is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon SoC and a neural processing unit that will help devs build native apps using the new ARM native versions of Windows subsystems, Visual Studio, and Terminal. This mini PC is also stackable to increase processing power. Unfortunately, it's not too exciting for gamers, but it's pretty neat to see Microsoft come up with something to compete with the Mac Mini. They've had the Mac Mini for a while and not compete against it until the M1. So Apple, you better watch out. Intel and Apple could be in some trouble. AMD just announced at Computex 2022 that some of the top-end Ryzen 7000 series will be able to boost up to 5.5 GHz to compete with the Intel i9 12900KS. It will use the Zen 4 architecture, which improved their single core performance up to 15% and doubling the L2 cache to 1 MB per core. AMD claims that this will be the first 5nm chips in desktops. So yeah, the M1 Mac Mini and the M1 iMac, Apple thought those were desktops? Oh boy, Apple. All of the Ryzen 7000 series will feature integrated graphics powered by RDNA 2. AMD also says that they'll support the AM4 motherboards for years to come, so no worries about rushing out to buy AM5 motherboard, even though they look pretty sweet. Then Corsair also announced the first gaming laptop, the Corsair Voyager A1600 Gaming. It will be powered up to a Ryzen 6900HS CPU and a RX 6800M GPU. It has a touch bar too, but they did it better than Apple. It will be customizable with Stream Deck software. Also comes with a 16-inch 240Hz QHD Plus display and some Cherry MX switches. This is definitely targeted towards streamers though, considering that the starting price of this is $2,700 US. So if you don't have that money to spend, I wouldn't spend it, especially if you're not a streamer. Even though that touch bar is pretty sweet. Then during NVIDIA's keynote this year at Computex 2022, ASUS announced the world's first 500Hz monitor, creatively named ASUS Swift 500Hz. Yes, very creative. But unfortunately, that's the most exciting part about this monitor. It's a 24.1-inch 1080p display with a TN panel, which ASUS claims has a 60% better response time than normal TN panels. You know what they say? More hertz makes you better at gaming. Okay, a better monitor doesn't make you better at gaming. Just to clear that out. Anyways, the Xbox Game Pass was known as one of the best deals in the gaming industry until this week. There was an article written about Game Pass Burnout. Yes, you can get burnout by playing games. Too much gaming. Oh, gotta take a break, you know? There were some Game Pass fans that pointed out that even if you played all the AAA games on the platform, there is still some indie games that you will be able to enjoy. Some also point out that the Game Pass provides a guaranteed payout for the indie developers, but one of the Xbox launch team members named Ed Fries stated out in an interview that Game Pass has an obvious similarity to subscriptions and services like Spotify, which had a negative take-home pay to developers, so this could be a rough situation for game developers. Anyways, come back for next week's tech news, and I'll catch you guys there.